So what do you do if your dog doesn't come when you call? Because it is going to happen, right? We all know that it's inevitable. You're going to call your dog to come when you didn't know there was a rabbit under the oak tree, or you didn't know there were a bunch of people at the front door. And you need to be prepared. You need to have in your brain a really clear plan about what to do, what you're going to do if you call your dog to come and he doesn't come. Because, you know, this is the point in training where an awful lot of people just give up. They sort of throw their hands up in the air. They say, oh, I went to class, I've been training my dog, he's been doing really well, but look, I called him to come, and look, it doesn't work, he's not coming. That's the goal. The goal is to get your dog to come away from distractions. And so when that happens, it's not like a problem, it's an opportunity. I want you to be thinking, oh, he didn't come, I need to now fix that. This is a training opportunity. Oh good, he didn't come. It's a training opportunity. So if you have a plan in your head, you can make this work for you and you can make this be on your side. So here's what you need to do. Just like a Boy Scout, a Girl Scout, you need to be prepared. When you're training a dog to come, always be sure that you have something really competitive. I have some food treats here that hopefully Canyon will really like. Be prepared to have something you really want. The dog really wants. You can want it too, but something the dog really wants. And then you might even want to set up an occasional situation. I've set this situation up here just to illustrate to you what to do if you call and the dog doesn't come. So I'm putting this dog way over his head. I wouldn't normally do this in his phase of training. Canyon is a retired racing greyhound. He hasn't had a lot of training, so I'm putting him over his head. Not because it's good for his training, but it's because it's a way for me to illustrate what to do if you call your dog to come and he doesn't come. So watch me, watch what I do if he doesn't come when called. Now, of course, if I call him and he comes, well, I'm going to reinforce him. I'll be really happy about that, right? So I'm going to turn to him and call him. We'll see what happens. He's very distracted right now. You can see his owner's feeding him treats. So let's see what happens. Canyon, come! Now, you need to react by going, oh, good boy, good boy, good boy. What a good boy you are. Oh, that was really clever. So what did I do? I went to him, and that is so hard for us humans. We like to stand there and we call louder and we yell and we stomp. Don't do that. Go to the dog. Canyon. Oh, good boy. There's your owner. Oh, he discovered treats. I'm going to put him back again. Go ahead and lure him back. Oh, yes. So I called him to come. He didn't come. I actually paused a little too long, ideally, because I wanted you to see he wasn't coming and think about what is she going to do. What you should do instantly is what I did, is go to him and lure him away. Don't give him the treat right there. Show him that treat. You might even have to put it right on his nose, right on her little nose. Lure her away like a carrot and a donkey, and as soon as you get something close to the response you want, then you reinforce. Now, if you possibly can, call your dog to come, he or she doesn't come, you lure them away and reinforce a partially correct response, right? If you possibly can, repeat it right afterwards in the same context. That's one of the reasons why setting up these controlled situations are really helpful. Because if he comes when he calls this time, I'm going to give him a jackpot. I'm going to give him everything in my hand. I don't know that he will. I have no idea. Let's just see what happens. Canyon! Canyon, come! Good boy! Good boy! Woohoo! And what a time to jackpot a dog. Oh, you are so good, honey. 1 treat and 2 treats and 3 treats. Oh my goodness, you are the smartest and most wonderfulest dog in the entire world. Yes, you are. I love you very much. Oh, you're such a good boy. So you want to jackpot a response that was that good. I mean, we don't even know each other. That was really, really good. And see how effective it is to help them, to help shape that behavior and then reinforce a partially correct response, and then jackpotting a really particularly good one. You are such a good boy. Okay, there are 2 important things to keep in mind, two more important things to keep in mind during the come training that you're doing with your dog. One is that as you start pushing that envelope, as you start asking your dog to come away from harder and harder distractions, start saving the best goodies for the harder recalls. In other words, they only get the best of all possible stuff for the really difficult situations. That'll make it more effective. And there's one last thing I want to say that's really important. you're never done. You should never stop reinforcing your dog at least part of the time for coming when called. You know, Cool Hand Luke and Pippy Tay, they're 13 years old, and I still very often will play come games with them. I'll throw the ball for them coming. A lot of the times I don't. I'm working, I'm busy. You know, I call my dogs to come and I sort of get on with life. But there are plenty of times when I call my dogs to come and we play chase game, I play ball. Always need to keep the reinforcement up for this to work. Well, you hot mister, why don't you take off? Bye, mister. You always want to keep the reinforcement going on a variable schedule, no matter how old or how well trained your dog gets, because that's the way you can keep it consistent, and that's the way you can keep it working every time you call.